Boo-hoo, wah, wah, Windows 11 doesn't look like Windows 10. All right, I get it. Some of you guys don't like the look of Windows 11. And while today I was going to show you how to debloat Windows 11, apparently we're gonna do that some other time. Today, I'm gonna show you how to modify Windows 11 to look like previous versions of Windows. Stay tuned. Boo-hoo, wah, wah. It looks too much like Apple. I'm gonna use a Mac from now on. So I interrupt this video to bring you our sponsor, which is me. If you guys like this channel, then please help support this channel by picking up some t-shirts, like this one here, Tech Support. I'm in it for the cash. Hey, don't forget mine. Make freedom cool again. Come on, this has got to be the coolest one we got. Whoa, wait a second. This is a tech channel. You can't do a t-shirt commercial with "Have you tried turning it on or off again?" Come on, am I right? Why y'all keep leaving Leroy out of these things? I like to show off my shirt too. But you don't even have a t-shirt on. I sure do. I'm in a complicated relationship with Facebook's community standards. Yeah, that's true. You definitely do go to blows with Facebook's community standards. He's not lying. With that being said, definitely go to my YouTube page, click on the store tab, and check out what t-shirts I have available. If there's something you like, then go ahead and pick it up because it helps me out a lot. Now, back to the video. So I've read a lot of complaints in the comments from my Windows 11 review that really don't like the look of Windows 11. And you know, personally, I like it. I think it looks good. Now, don't get me wrong, I do have problems with it, and I mentioned those in my review. But, you know, I get it. If you don't like the way Windows 11 looks, then you don't like it. You know, it's not for me to judge what you do or don't like. So I'm going to show you today how you can change it. Now, I'm going to give you a bunch of different options today. Some of them are retail and you have to actually pay for them. And there's actually some free alternatives too. At least there's one free alternative. So stay tuned all the way to the end of the video so you can see all the different options that are available to you. I'm not only going to show you how to put a Windows 10 start menu back in Windows 11, but I'm going to show you how to put the Windows 7 start menu as well as the Windows 8 start screen. For whatever reason you would want to do that, but I'm going to show you how to do it anyway. So without talking about it anymore, let's actually get to doing it. Okay, so here is the famous Windows 11 start menu. And I know a lot of you guys don't like it, but like I said, I really dig it, but that's just me. Maybe I just like new things. There is a few things though that I don't like about it. For one, I really don't like its centered position. However, it is starting to kind of grow on me a little bit. So I see a lot of points people are making with ultra wide monitors, how a centered start menu is kind of cool. My biggest issue is all the icons are centered. So as you open more stuff, it moves it across the dock. So technically it doesn't stay centered. It could be all the way over here if you have a whole bunch of programs running, but you know, I digress. Either way, I'm going to show you today how to change this all around. I'm going to give you all kinds of different options. So the first one that we're going to start with today is a program called Start 11. Now this program is actually made by StarDock, and they're actually pretty popular when it comes to making ways of modifying Windows. You know, I've seen them in the past do a lot of different things like this. So we're going to go ahead and install this real quick, and I'll show you how it works. And for that, I've already got it right here. So we're going to go ahead and set it up. It's going to take a second to set up here. All right, once it's set up, we can either start a 30-day trial to check it out, or we can purchase a key. Now, I've already started a trial, and yes, that is a fake email address, so don't bother trying to send anything to it. I just used a temporary email address to set up the trial because, honestly, I don't want the spam, you know? It's just me, but it's the way I am. Okay, so go ahead and enter your email address or a fake email address if you want, and go ahead and register your trial. And then from here, you can pick out different styles of menus. So I'm going to start out with the Windows 10 style. So if we go ahead and click that, and then we click our start menu, you'll see it looks an awful lot like Windows 10, and it's centered in the screen. It's not exactly like Windows 10, but it's a pretty close facsimile. And if we kind of go through here, these are just like their templates. We can actually go down and we can actually tweak these even more. So some of the things that we can do with this program, we can go into the start button and we can change the start button. However, in order to do that, we have to left justify the menu in order to change the start button. So if we were to actually come down to here, we could uncheck this and it'll throw the button down to the left. And if we do that, then we can actually change the start button. But I'm not going to do that here, but you can do that. It is definitely a possibility. Now from the taskbar, it also gives you tons of different settings that you can change within the taskbar itself. Some of these settings are repeated, like the position of the start button, but that's okay. They put them in different spots so it can be easier to find them when you're looking for them. And you can also actually come down and you can make other changes like the text size as well as the primary monitor that the taskbar actually sits on. It's actually pretty limited with what kind of settings that you can change with the taskbar, which, you know, it's a little bit of a bummer from a retail program like this. But now we go on to the next one. We go into search. Now, Start 11 is a little bit different than the other options here. This is the only one that actually has its own search engine built in. So if you don't want to use the Windows search function, they actually have their own search function built into this program that, you know, might help you out because there has been a lot of complaints about the Windows 11 search. So if that's something you're looking for, this program actually might be what you're looking for. Okay, so if we go through, we can kind of look through here more. We can actually turn on or off the Start 11 search, and we can also change how the search function works. So if we were actually to click on the Start button and we were to search for something, let's search for Control Panel. We can see kind of the way everything's laid out. We've got the apps and everything, and then the settings down here. You know, it's pretty decent layout. But you can change how things are filtered and how things look just by changing some of these settings right here. And if we continue to go down, we can go down to Control, and we can control how the Start button actually works. Like by clicking the Start button, we can open the Windows 11 menu, or we can open the Windows menu. So if we were to do that, we get the Windows 11 Start menu back. However, if you were to use the Windows 11 Start menu with this program, it'd be kind of a waste because you'd be taking away all the benefits the program has, but you know, it is what it is. And you know, there's lots of different settings you can come in here too. I'm going to go back to the Start menu section and I'm going to click on this little cog right here. And from this cog, we can actually change some of the ways in which the Start menu itself actually looks. Like for instance, right now, as you can see, the layout looks really close to Windows 10. And you can actually add things like, for instance, the shortcuts list in the side right here. You can add stuff if you'd like. So let's say we're going to add the control panel to it. So if we add that, if we click on the Start button now, we can actually see that the control panel and the settings icon are there at the same time. You know, I wish we had the option to put the control panels in that little quick settings link in Windows 10, but it looks like we finally have that option in a third-party program on Windows 11, ironically. Yeah. And then you can also customize, you know, more of the appearance of the Start menu as well. You can adjust the menu's transparency, you can make the menu bigger or smaller, and you can use an automatic color or pick your own color for the Start menu. You know, all your basic configuration settings that you would expect in a program like this. And this right here is a really neat setting right here. And I wish I had this option on other systems that I have, because there are some systems that I do use remote desktop on a lot. And with this, that's to have the shutdown and reboot options when you're connected via remote desktop. Microsoft, seriously, this right here is a very helpful option. Let us shut down our computers from the Start menu over remote desktop. I have no idea why we can't do that. It doesn't make any sense. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to look at some of the other Start menus we have. The Start 11 actually has its own custom Start menu. And if we click on that, you can see it looks kind of similar to the Windows 7 Start menu, but the icon's in a different spot. But as the other one is, this one's customizable as well. You can also go to a Windows 7 style Start menu, which we'll go ahead and click on now, and it actually does look a lot like a Windows 7 Start menu. And if you want, you can actually go to a Windows 11 style Start menu, which looks a lot like Windows 11. Looks like, I did notice here, it doesn't have the search box on the top, and I bet you if we go into the settings right here, that's probably something that you can turn on or off. Yep, right here, hide search box and less searching. So if we were to uncheck that, then it would have the search box just like the Windows 11 one does. Okay, one last thing I want to show you in Start 11, because I promised you I would, is how to give yourself a Windows 8 start screen. I don't know why you would want to do this, but if you do, it's really easy. You go over to the Windows 10 style, click on the little cog right here, and then scroll all the way down to where it says Use Full Screen Menu, and click on. And then when you do that, you'll have, oh man, this brings back bad memories. Oh, I hope the screen never comes back. Please, Microsoft, don't bring this screen back. We don't need it. Anyway, it's not really the Windows 8 start screen. It's more like the Windows 10 tablet interface, but it still brings back bad memories. Either way, I don't know why you would want to do this, but it's here if you want to do it. So now that we've taken a look at Start 11, I'm going to go ahead and uninstall it, and we're going to look at the next start menu replacement that we're going to look at today. Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at today is a start menu replacement called Start All Back. It's a Windows 11 start menu replacement similar to the last one that we did, and this one here is also a retail program. So I already have this one downloaded. I'm going to go ahead and install it real quick, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at it. Now this one here actually installs really fast. There's no process like it did in the last one, and that's actually kind of nice. You know, it doesn't take a long time to install. It doesn't really install a lot of stuff. I think this one here is a lot lighter weight than the last one we looked at. But it gives you right here different options that you can go. You can go kinda 10, proper 11, or remastered 7. So it gives you all kinds of different settings that you can use in order to make your computer look like any version of those different operating systems. So just at default, I'm gonna go ahead and hit the start button. And as you can see, this is more of a Windows 7 style start menu that we've started with. If we were to click on kinda 10, then it would give us a Windows 7-like start menu. Interesting. So apparently this one doesn't have a Windows 10 start menu, but it is what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and go through all of the different settings here, and we'll kind of see what this program has to offer. So if we go into Start Menu, you can see that this is all the detailed different settings that you can make for the Start Menu itself. And it actually does have a setting right here where you can actually turn it off. And I assume that'll give you, yeah, it'll give you the Windows 8 Start Menu. So it looks like this one here doesn't have an option for a Windows 10 Start Menu, but actually this says plain 11. So let's see, we can have Windows 7. Look at that. Yeah, that looks a lot more like Windows 7. And we can actually go through and customize how the start menu looks if we wanted to through all these settings here. Now let's go move on to the taskbar settings here. And you can see this one also allows you to change the way that the start button looks. I don't see that it has a custom option, but we can change it to like a Windows 11 style start menu, a Windows 10 style start menu, as well as even a Windows 7 style start menu. So those of you that like Windows 7, this one looks like it's more tailored to you guys. You can have your Windows 7 back and still be under support. Best of both worlds. And another really neat setting that this program actually has is the way that it actually manipulates the taskbar itself. We can have it center the taskbar icons themselves, but leave the start button over on the left like that. Or we can make it dynamically transparent. So if we did that, it essentially takes your taskbar away and all you see is the icons. But I noticed if you move something in the way, it actually makes it come back. So unfortunately, it doesn't give you that viewing angle. You have to actually look, but you know, it's kind of has some transparency to it. So you can still see through it. But another really neat setting is if you disable the dynamic transparency and then set it up to segments, it completely eliminates the start menu in between the different segments. And with this one, you actually can move something in the way of it. And I think that looks pretty good. This is actually one of the settings that I think this program shines the best in, is actually being able to give you that completely modified look with cutting out the sections of the start menu that aren't actually being used. I actually like that. It looks pretty cool. So the next thing we're going to go into Explorer. This setting allows you to change the way Windows Explorer looks. It lets you do either the Windows 10 ribbon UI, the Windows 11 command bar, or the Windows 7 command bar. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Explorer here. And as you can see, Explorer clearly looks like Windows 10 right here. So I'm going to go to the Windows 11 style. We have to close Explorer, then go ahead and open it again. And as you can see there, that's the Windows 11 style. But we can also go down to the Windows 7 command bar, and then we can have it back the way it was in Windows 7. That's a really neat setting. I like that a lot. All right, so now we're going to move down to Advanced. And with Advanced, we can actually change the coloring of the taskbar and the start menu, as well as take out the recently opened programs and open items and stuff like that. So these are essentially just advanced settings for tweaking little individual pieces of the program itself. Okay, So if you guys are familiar with start menu replacements, you've probably all heard of OpenShell, but you probably all know that OpenShell doesn't work in Windows 11. And that's because Microsoft has changed the taskbar so much that unfortunately the developers of OpenShell are still working out the bugs and trying to get it to work with Windows 11. However, what if I were to tell you I found a way to make it work? And it's actually not that hard, and it's completely free. So that's what we're going to jump into next. The last start menu replacement that I'm going to show you is OpenShell, and I'm going to show you how to get it to work in Windows 11 and get it to work pretty well, actually. Let me show you how to do it. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to need in order to get OpenShell working is a program called Explorer Patcher. And what this does is it actually just includes a single DLL in the Windows folder, and then Windows actually replaces most of the Windows 10 taskbar in Windows 11. It's actually a neat little program, and it comes with tons and tons of settings. So let me show you how to install it. You just go ahead and download it from GitHub. It's really easy to get and free. And then once you have it downloaded, you install it. The installation process is really easy. Go ahead and hit yes, and it's installed. It's that simple. Once it's installed, it replaces your taskbar. As you can see down here, it's left justified now, so it's more like the Windows 10 start menu. However, when you click on it, the start menu is still there, but it opens in the middle, even though the start menu is over on the side. So this is a little inconvenient. However, it does give you the ability to move your taskbar to the different positions like you were able to do in previous versions of Windows. Because essentially what you're looking at right now is the Windows 10 taskbar in Windows 11. Now, to get to the settings for this, we go ahead and right click and we go to Properties. And from Properties, this is going to give us the Explorer Patcher settings themselves. So right here, it allows you to turn on or off the Windows 10 taskbar style. So if we want, we can bring the Windows 11 taskbar back. So you can actually go through here and you can change a lot of things. You can change how the taskbar combines the different icons and things like that. And you can also show or hide the search button, task button, people's button, show desktop, things of that nature. I have them all hidden here. You can also add a shortcut for WinX to open up the settings button. So if you were to hit the Windows button and X, it would open up the little settings menu that you would normally have in Windows 10. Same thing as if you right click on the settings menu. This one actually gives you the one from Windows 11. So if we go into the system tray, we're going to look at the first one first. So we go into the system tray, it'll show you, we can turn seconds on the clock on or off. As you can see here, now it has seconds going. So I'm not going to go through every single setting in here, but there is one setting specifically that I definitely want to highlight. As you're going through here, if you look at File Explorer, one of the things in File Explorer here is to disable the Windows 11 context menu. Now, if you remember my review from Windows 11, you'll remember that one of the irritants that I had with Windows 11 was that stupid context menu when you right-clicked on anything from either your desktop or within File Explorer. This right here is how you can get rid of it. So if we go ahead and check the disable context menu, and then we have to restart File Explorer for this to work. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that now. It's going to restart File Explorer. If we right-click on the desktop now, we have the old context menu back. I absolutely love this feature, and I'm definitely going to use this program for that right there. And one of the neat things about this program is if you want to, you don't have to use the Windows 10 start menu. If we go to taskbar, we can change this to Windows 11 like I showed you before. I'm going to go ahead and hit Restart File Explorer. This will give us back our Windows 11 start menu like normal. However, if we right click on the taskbar, we get our full taskbar menu, as well as if we click on the desktop, we don't have that stupid Windows 11 menu anymore. So in this case, we can still have the look of Windows 11, but have it back, some of the tweaks like we had before. But I'm gonna go ahead and set this back to Windows 10, restart Explorer, and then go through the rest of the settings so I can show you here. So on the start menu here, we got a couple different settings. We can open start on the monitor where the cursor is at. We can open start at login, which I think is the most useless option that you can possibly have, but it's there. Or we can open start in all apps by default. So if we click on that, and on this one, we don't have to restart Explorer on this one because as you can see, there's no asterisk behind it, so it's fine. So if we click on the start button right now, as you can see, it opened in all apps. Now you can justify the start menu to the left so it won't open across the screen from your start button like this. So if you were to do that, you just right click go into taskbar settings, go down to taskbar behaviors and tell it to open on the left. And if you do that, it makes it look a little bit more natural. But now it's actually opening into all apps instead of opening into the, I guess you would call it the home page to the start menu. But I'm going to go ahead and check that back. You can also change the Windows switcher. So that's going to be the actual switcher to switch between different programs. You can change it from Windows 11. You can put it the Windows 10 Windows switcher. Go ahead and restart Explorer. And then if we click on that, it'll give you the switcher from Windows 10. Or we can even go back to the Windows NT Windows switcher. And if we go to that one, I'm going to go ahead and hit Alt-Tab. And you remember this old one? Yeah, I remember it. But anyway, as you can see from here, there's a lot of different settings that you can change. You can go into other. There's obviously tons of different settings that you can change in this thing in order to modify your start menu in any way possible. However, this program by itself does not change your start menu. As you can see, you still have the Windows 11 start menu. However, by replacing the Windows 11 start menu with the Windows 10 start menu, you can still use OpenShell now. So we're going to go ahead and install that now, and I'll show you how it works. So now we can close the properties here. I'm going to open this File Explorer up here, and we're going to actually install OpenShell. And then from here, I'm going to go ahead and accept the license agreement and go ahead and install it. And once it's installed, as you can see now, my start menu has changed. I actually have an animated start button on this one, which I actually think looks kind of cool. If we go ahead and click the start menu, as you can see, here's OpenShell now. And the way you would modify OpenShell is you would right click on your start button and go ahead and click on settings. And from here, here's all your settings for OpenShell. It will allow you to change the different menu style. It'll allow you to customize the start menu in tons and tons of different ways. This video is just, there's no way I'm going to go into every single customization that you can do, but just know that there is tons and tons of different things that you can do in this program to be able to customize the way your start button looks. In fact, even customizing the button. As you can see, I actually did this button right here because I think it looks pretty cool. But you can change the start button to practically anything you want. In fact, I've got a couple options right here that I downloaded. I'm going to go ahead and make my start menu like the Angry Birds. So if we do that, there you go. My start menu is now the Angry Birds. And if you zoom in here, you'll notice that as I mouse over it, his eyebrows get down. And then if I click on it, his eyes close. I think that's kind of cool. But, you know, depends on if you're a fan of Angry Birds. So as you can see, you've got tons of different options to be able to change the way that Windows 11 looks. And you know, personally, I don't know why you would do it. In fact, I don't know why you're still watching this video, because honestly, this is probably the most useless modification you can make. I mean, you know, don't get me wrong. If you like Windows 11, or if you're stuck with Windows 11 and you want to actually use some of the older start menus, or if you want to fix some of the little tweaks on this thing, like for instance, Explorer Patcher, that's going to be an automatic program that I'm going to use on Windows 11 from now on, just because it gives me back the context menus like I like them in Windows 10. But the problem here is that you can still use Windows 10. Windows 10 is still fully within support, and you can still use it. So I don't know why you would modify Windows 11 to look like Windows 10 unless you have no other reason but to do that. However, when it comes down to the three different options that I tried, from the retail options, the Start 11 I thought was completely not worth the money. You know, it did give you some modifications that were okay, I guess, but it didn't come with enough to where I think it made it worthwhile to spend $5 on it. Now, the second one I looked at was Start All Back, and that one actually was a pretty decent program. If it came down to it and I wanted to pay for a start menu replacement, then I would probably go that route. However, you know, OpenShell is a great program and it's free. And using Explorer Patcher in order to get OpenShell to work, I think makes it nonsense to have to pay for a start menu replacement. Just use the open source versions that are available for free and be happy with them. They work really good. They don't have every single option that the retail ones have, but I couldn't find a setting in there that I really would pay $5 for. So either way, I hope this video was helpful. If it was, then please smash that like button. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon so you can be notified of future videos. I post a new video every week. Oh, and hey, before you go, check out a couple of these videos. Have a great day.